I want to unleash everyone in this room to become a sales beast. If you want to sell a lot of stuff to a lot of people, you need unreasonable beliefs. Belief number one, unreasonable. You are going to close every single person that talks to you. Oh, but what if they're not qualified? What if they're not? Shut up. I'm talking about the belief of being a hunter. The belief of being a hunter is, I'm going to close this person. Michael Jordan said it best. He said, I never lost a game. I just ran out of time. They're going to close at some point. Everyone's getting closed every single day. They're buying stuff. Every human being's buying stuff. So they are buying. They are buyers. Therefore, you didn't sell them when they didn't buy. But they bought from someone else. Everywhere they go, they buy stupid cars and watches and all this stuff, but they don't buy the stuff that improves their life. Therefore, it is your ethical duty and obligation to sell stuff to people. Business is literally the top line of your profit and loss statement is sales. It's sales. It's the only requirement that distinguishes wantrepreneurs from entrepreneurs. When you go on Shark Tank, they don't ask you, what is your thought about your business? What do you think about it? No, they ask, what are your numbers? What are your sales? It's the first question they ask. It's the most important thing. So an unreasonable belief is, I'm going to close every single person. Outbound culture with luxury of inbound leads. I want you to pretend that you are a cold calling organization. I want you to operate with a belief that they don't know who you are, they don't like you, they don't trust you, and they didn't even mean to contact you. Does everyone notice that shift? Now it's, okay, cool, let's hunt. So then that's going to force you to get more intense with your outbound. When a lead comes in, you're going to be more intense because you know that they're not going to respond to your first message. They're not going to be interested. It's never going to be the right time. They're always going to have to think about it. Get used to it. With an outbound culture, you expect this stuff. Hey, I didn't expect you to be interested. Hey, I didn't expect you to have the time. Hey, I didn't expect you to say yes right away. When you have those expectations, you're never caught off guard. When we come from a referral mindset, please absorb this. The referral mindset is the opposite of unreasonable beliefs because they're all layups. So then you create this belief that every lead wants to talk to you because of the warm lead stuff from referrals. And that's just not how it works in the internet world. So that's a huge unreasonable belief, is treat nobody like referrals. Number two, speed. This is another category. So we talk about unreasonable beliefs, then I want to talk about speed. Speed in every area of your sales process. Speed from when they contact you to when you contact them. Speed in the sales process itself. Speed is service. Speed is not being pushy. Give you an opposite of speed. You know how most attorneys end their first calls? They go, do you have any other questions? That's your closing line, which I'm going to go through in a second. Any more questions? Oh, I just really need to think about it. That's because you asked a terrible closing line. You do not want to have people feel, oh, that was a nice conversation at the end of a call. If you are selling something you believe in, get them to make a decision. You owe it to them. Sales is decision making. The best salespeople have the ability to force people to make fast decisions, especially when it's something you believe in. How many of you think your legal service is better than your competitors? Raise of hands. Okay, why are you going to let them get off the phone? Why are you doing them a disservice? You're hurting your clients when you don't introduce speed into the process. You should start entering your calls. Hey, I assume you probably already know you want to work with us, right? Yeah, I actually have watched 7 of your videos. Cool, we're going to get you signed up. Sound good? I know you probably don't want to waste time on the phone. Okay. You should start reversing your calls and just ask for the close right away. Oh, wow. And when they say, no, I'm not ready, you just go, oh, wow, most people who call us look at our social media following, they look at our reviews, and they feel like their mind's already made up. How can I help you get to that point? Again, this is unreasonable belief. I expect people to just say yes. So speed in your follow-up. Speed in the sales process itself. Next one is urgency. Urgency and speed, they go perfectly hand in hand. When you are following up fast with people, when you're doing a fast sales process, do they sense urgency? Does anyone here sense urgency right now for me? Yeah, because I'm operating with speed, right? You can tell my internal hum is like this. Some people in the room are, right? So I got speed. So then you're like, whoa, why is this guy like so urgent? Well, the urgency transfers urgency to your prospect. When you're precise, when you're fast, when you're on the ball, when you're sharp, when you know what you're talking about, what do you think they feel? They feel confidence. They make faster decisions. They operate with more urgency. So urgency is absolutely key. You need to audit, if you have other people answering your calls, is urgency being introduced on calls? Is it being drug out because people are trying to give them a good experience or whatever, asking way too many fact-finding questions? You're not doing them a service. You need enough information to know whether or not you can sell something to them. So you should remove all of your questions from your sales process that don't need to be answered in order to sign them up. After you sign them up, you can ask them about all of the other crap. All you need to know is whether or not you can sign them up. Is price a real reason someone can't sign up? No. If I guaranteed everyone here $1 million with a contract and said, give me 10 grand, and here's the contract, guaranteed $1 million, you'd find it. You'd find family members. You'd figure out a way to get the money. Price is never the objection. It's always value. Next one is offer. Always obsess over the offer. Is your offer compelling enough and differentiated enough where people must sign up? Let's say someone named Joe referred a client to you. Your differentiation in that sales process is, well, Joe recommended you. Is that a compelling offer? No, if you operated as though nobody knew, liked, and trusted you, and they didn't mean to contact you, referral or not, they would be plugged into an irresistible offer. Every person who contacts you should feel at the end of your sales process, I must hate my family, and I must hate money, and I must hate my freedom if I don't sign up with this. They should feel at the end of the call, I must not like a brighter future if I say no to this. That's where a compelling offer comes in. Mission critical, the offer. It can't just be years of experience. It can't just be you being liked. Once you start building a social media presence, you end up scaling your personality, which then becomes another element of the offer. You become the celebrity figure. So people feel like, I like you. That's cool. Use that. That still doesn't mean you shouldn't have a compelling offer separate from that. We're the only law firm in X market that fill in the blank. Innovate it. Become the Steve Jobs of your legal service. Communicate value in a way no one else in your market is. Next one, early stage obsession. I need you to obsess over the first 30 minutes of when every single lead comes in. I need you to obsess over every granular thing that happens in that first 30-minute time window. I need you to obsess over the first 10 minutes of what's said on an initial consult. The early stage controls 80% of the outcomes on the back end. The way you treated them up front is 80% of the impact. If you were the first firm to respond to them, the first firm to answer all their questions, the first firm to deliver exactly what they asked for, the first firm to make an offer, first beats everything else. The early stage of the sales process, you gotta obsess over. How do I differentiate myself? This is what we just did this quarter. We started doing group text introductions. I told the sales team, when a lead comes in, we have a BDR, immediately introduce them to a closer through a group text message thread. Holy crap, doubled our pipeline. Doubled the amount of appointments we had in our calendar. No additional money. Speed, differentiation with the group text, it's different. Most people follow up via email and say, well, I followed up and they didn't reply. Nobody responds to email. Stop emailing your clients. Text gets an 800% higher response rate than email. You must collect your clients' cell phone numbers. You must text them. Group texts are an even further differentiation. How often have you reached out to a company and gotten a personalized group text message from that company? Never. That's differentiator number one. Differentiator number two. How many times can you get a personalized text group and a personalized selfie video from the person? Hey, what's up? My name's John. I saw you submitted our information on the law firm's site. Super excited to talk with you. I'm actually John. I deal with all of our XYZ case types. Super excited to connect with you. I'm going to be calling you today at 2 p.m. If you're not available, let me know, but I'm going to be calling you regardless at 2 p.m. And you know what they're going to say? Either, oh, don't call me then, call me this time. They're going to correct you, and then you're going to get a book time. Don't ask them, when can we meet? Say, I'm calling you at this time. Let them correct you. One thing people love is they love to correct salespeople. This is why you should make statements in your sales process and have them go, no, that's not what I meant. That's when you get the facts from people. Objections, closing lines, and time to close. Time to close is the time from when a lead comes in to when they sign up with you. Time kills deals. Track time to close. Just start tracking it. If you're taking 2 weeks from when someone reaches out for them to sign up with you, your goal is to make it 1 week. If you're at 1 week, your goal is to make it 2 days. If you're at 2 days, your goal is to make it 1 day. Wherever you're at, improve it. Shorten the distance from initial contact to close. Time to close, okay? Closing lines. How many times at the end of a call do you ask someone to buy? Closing lines will change everything. The confidence close, the alignment close. This is all in our sales training university. It's in the online portal, coach.smbteam.com. If your intakers aren't doing this, they're throwing money out the drain. We have scripts on closing lines and objection handlers in that portal with literal downloadable templates with scripts for every single one of them. Confidence close. Hey, at this point, I'm confident in our ability to deliver on X. Are you? Great. I don't see any reason why we can't move forward now. Would you agree? A no-based closing line. Would you be opposed to moving forward right now? Yeah. Would it be crazy if we got you moving right now before you go back into the shark pool of other attorneys that I know aren't going to provide the service that we do? All you have to do is role play this stuff or have your intakers role play so that they become desensitized to these lines. A great one is, this is the right decision for you. We should really move forward. That's as direct as it gets. If you're selling to a business owner, this is the right decision for your business. We should move forward. When you ask a closing line, you're going to get some people that go, okay. Now, first person who talks what? Loses. So keep your mouth shut after you do a closing line. When you ask a closing line, it's going to produce sometimes a objection, which is why closing lines and objection handlers go hand in hand. When you start asking closing lines, you're going to pull out objections. You have to steamroll through the objection. You have to stay steady through the objection. Okay? Well, I need to think about it. Hey, let me ask. I fully understand you want to think about it. What did you specifically need to think about so I can help you through that right now rather than have to do it via email follow-up, which I know you're already busy. So now you're serving them. Well, it's really about the money. Let me ask you, does it really have to do with the money, or is it lack of confidence in the result that we can provide based on what I shared with you? Because if I could guarantee the result, I'm sure that the price wouldn't be that much, right? So let's talk about why you don't believe in the outcome. So now we've reframed from price to, I don't believe this is going to work. So objection bouncing. You bounce from objection to objection, and your goal is to take it from price, time delay, whatever BS they give you, to value. Because that's the only reason they won't buy, is value. So you say, I need to think about it. Let's talk about why you need to think about it. Well, I'm uncertain about X. Awesome, let's talk about that. Because it seems to me you don't need to think about it. It seems like I need to provide you more certainty around X. Is that right? Right. Awesome. And if I could solve X, I'm sure you wouldn't worry about moving forward right now, would you? Right. Awesome. Happy to solve that for you. Then you solve it. Then you go, awesome. I don't see any reason why we can't move forward now. Would you agree? Unreasonable beliefs must accompany this. You have to believe you're going to close them. The last thing I want to bring up is the importance of sales training and role play. Super Bowl winning teams, they don't practice in the middle of the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, they do little pass drills when there's a timeout or TV commercial, but most of their practice is happening in the off season. It's not happening in a live game. Sales training and role play is essential. So whoever's doing your intake, if you're doing your own intake, you gotta, if you have a commute, if you have a minute in the bathroom while you're shaving, say closing lines out loud. Have your sales team, if you have a sales team, every single day, they should be repeating closing lines, objection handlers. They should be role-playing. I call it level 1 role play. Level 1 role play is the simplest form of role play. Most people, when they do sales role play, they throw the craziest objection ever, and then it becomes a beep show. You don't want that kind of role play in a sales team. You want level 1 role play, military level style discipline. Someone says a closing line, the other person says pass or fail. That's it. That's level 1 role play. Hey, I don't see any reason why we can't move forward now. Would you agree? Other person goes pass if they feel it had conviction, didn't stutter, sounded good. They go pass, or they say fail. If they say fail, the person has to repeat the same exact line word for word until they say pass. That's level 1 role play. Then, boom, when they get a pass, the next person does the role play. And they say the same exact line, and then the other person says pass or fail. Sales training and role play. Role play won't get the job done without sales training. Both are required. So what's sales training? Sales training is documented evidence of your team completing sales trainings. Videos on sales training. Anyone ever hear of YouTube? Type in sales training. Assign it to your intaker. Go on SMB Sales University. Assign them to go through one module of our sales university every single day and get receipt that they went through it through a screenshot of them completing the video. That's sales training. Sales training plus role play will revolutionize everything in your sales process.